Hi, my name is Scully. Can you do a zipper this well? It's awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Sue, and I'm from OML Embroidery, and we finally got everything set up. I'm so happy. We got the Sue cam going. I got my desk, my sewing center, all my AccuQuilt, fabric everywhere, and of course the fun board. So today is all about zippers and zipper bags, so let's get started. All right, this is the Scully zipper bag. So notice how perfect the zipper is on it. It opens up, it's straight, it looks good, it has a nice fold. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So when you're making zipper bags, it may get a little confusing. So here's a rule to remember. The top of the hoop is for the front of the bag and the back of the bag, so outside. The back of the hoop is for the lining, so the inside. And if you remember that, you won't put the lining and back of the bag in the wrong place. So top of the hoop is for the outside, bottom of the hoop underneath is for the lining. So, okay, now I know this isn't the right hoop, but I only have one size of hoop and it's on the machine because we're going to finish stitching it. So we're just going to pretend that this will fit in the hoop. So the first step in any bag is an outline like this. So this it happens to be for the Scully one, but you always get a placement like this. Now, I've drawn on the lines, so hopefully you guys can see them better. And before you place your zipper down, take a marker or, anything with a bit of color and just mark. You can do the whole thing if you want, but just mark the middle of the zipper line. If there isn't one, you can just guesstimate it and draw the full line so you can see on the back which line is going to be for the zipper, and this will make your lining zipper pieces line up perfectly, because it's hard to tell. They all look the same and there's going to be so many more lines. So just mark it like this so you can see it from the back. That'll really help. So we have a zipper here and we're going to lay it down. Now I always remember to put the zipper pull on the left. It's just a habit of mine, and that's fine. And the idea is that you want to line the zipper up. See, that's crooked. You want to line the zipper up and you want a little bit of tension in there in the zipper. The other thing, don't buy cheap masking tape or painter's tape. Buy the good stuff. It makes a big difference. So I'm going to line up and I start on one side, and before I do any taping I make sure this is completely out of the way. If you were doing a zipper that just fit like that, you're going to end up in trouble because your embroidery foot is going to hit that and cause issues. So use a bigger zipper. So I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to tape right here. And then I am going to get my second piece of tape ready. And I'm going to make sure this sits nice and flat. So I am pulling on it a little bit. And I'm going to tape that down. You can stitch through the tape, so however it works for you. That's fine. That's pretty good placement. If it's really big, I would put some more tape in there. So then you put it back on your machine and it's going to stitch this down. And because we have it taped down so well, it's going to stitch perfectly. So then the next step is we want to put our fabric for the front, which is where all of our designing is. We want to put that down near the zipper. So there's a lot of ways of doing it. I prefer this way. Another thing too, if you want to add batting, you can tuck the batting under here. So I've just folded the fabric down just a little bit just to make a nice edge, and I did iron like a lot. If you want to, this fabric is kind of thin, you can always put a little iron-on interfacing. It just gives it a little more body, and you might find that you don't need batting.
Are you doing zipper tab up or down?
Zipper tab up or down?
Is it facing you, or is the zipper tab on the hoop up or down? Facing you or not?
I'm on the top of the hoop.
I
so
know,
it's
but is the zipper tab up or is it down on the hoop?
tab. What is a zipper tab?
The pull, the zipper pull.
It's up, down, I guess. Why are you asking?
Because somebody's asking. I want to clarify for them. So zipper tab up,
Okay.
facing you,
Well, yeah,
away
top
from the hoop.
top of the hoop. Top of the hoop. So this is how you would zip the zipper. Top of the hoop is for the top of the bag, so everything's facing up, kind of.
Okay.
Okay, back to it. So I cut the size out and I made a nice crisp line. And what we want to do is we want to line this up. Now you could do it right here, just right beside it. However, it looks way better if you put it in the middle of the zipper. Now my piece is a scrap and it's not even straight, and it doesn't matter as long as it covers everything up. So you want to get it straight, and again we're going to do it nice and tight because we want that. And I'm going to do the same thing. So hold it with my hand, plop on the tape, and get this down. Now I won't be stitching this one, but I'll show you guys what I've done. This is how you start it. This is the first steps of it. And then, of course, my hoop would be bigger, but, you know, we'll just pretend. So that one's secured nicely down, and I have a beautiful line here. It's a little bit off there, so I would fix it because this is all about getting it right.
It's where you want to take your time, right?
Yeah, but you get quite good at it. So this is the bottom part. Same again. I have it folded down. This is kind of thin fabric, perfect for lining. Maybe not so much for this, but we want to put it right up against it. So again, it doesn't matter if your fabric is cut out perfectly. What matters is how it looks right here. And if you can see that, it looks perfect. So
it looks like one piece.
kind of, yeah. And you'll be surprised how amazing this looks. Anytime I was doing zipper bags before, I always had trouble with the zippers, getting them down straight and no bubbles, and, you know, making this part look professional, like you did it on a sewing machine. And this is how you do it. So when it sews, the next step, it's going to sew this down, and you'll have a beautiful line here, and your zipper's going to move. Then for the Scully dude, we're going to do the applique. If we look here, once this is stitched down, we're going to do the applique. So it's the skull first, the quilting stitches, and then this applique. And I'm going to move this over. Oh, my table's moved.
Oh no.
Oh.
We used it.
Yes, I was going to put it on the table, but you know, and I just had this piece of paper so you guys could see it. Now, let's look at the talking Scully. So, look how the zipper turns out. Isn't that wonderful? it looks pretty perfect, and look, it goes nicely.
Nice and smooth.
Yeah, and it makes all the difference, and it makes everything look really good. But that is how the zippers should look if you're careful enough. So once all of the applique, and you can see on this guy, just because he's a Scully, he can be cute, she can be cute. I didn't do the quilting stitches because I wanted the the fabric to show up clearly. So I just simply skipped them. And then once you're done all the applique, there's going to be another outline. And that is your cue to do the lining number 1. So the top of the hoop is for the outside of the bag, and the bottom of the hoop is for the inside of the bag. And all I did here is I looked at my line that I had colored so I know exactly where the middle is, and I placed the fabric down. Now you can see the outlines a little bit better because it's on white, and the zipper is in there, and that's just about as perfect as it could get. So once you do that, we're ready for more steps. So the steps for the bags, my bags anyways, are all the same. Outline, place your zipper, stitch it down, top and bottom fabric around the zipper, whatever design is going on, and then we're gonna put the back on.
Your PDF instructions are really good too. I didn't have trouble following them.
Oh, good. Yeah, I took a lot of pictures. So before we put the back of the bag on, it's really important that you open your zipper. So we had it like this, and we're going to put it like this. So open it as far as you can, keeping in mind that your machine's going to stitch right here, so you don't want it open completely, because then it's going to get caught on it, and we don't want that. And this is also the time, so 2 things that are really important, that we are going to put the tabs if you want them. You don't have to have them, that's for sure. Now this guy is kind of irregular. This, if you look, the outside right here, I know I sewed over the stitching, is higher than this one. So I'm going to show you how I made sure that everything's even. And this is what I did. I kind of did a measurement here. So I've got another one. I'm going to show you how I quickly put these together. So figure out where you want it, and then draw a line where the line is on both of them, and then turn it around. So this is the other end, this is the loop end. You can put hardware if you want. Let me get a pen that'll show up. I need a chalk pen, which I don't have. I need a chalk pen, Dawn.
You don't know.
I don't, it's probably way over there. It's a red one. Just because I want to show you guys all the details. Also, while we're waiting for the chalk pen, are there any questions? We're going to go to the machine in a minute, but I haven't, that's fine. I haven't looked at the chat yet. So let's go ahead and set this up, because it is important. We do want our guy to be even when you're carrying him. And so I marked it, and then I'm going to put the line I made right there, and I kind of want it in the middle of this part. So loop facing in, and get a bit of tape. You end up with a lot of tape on your desk, but that's okay. So open zipper, tape it down. Now I'm going to show you guys how to make these tabs. If you are using webbing, then that's fantastic. You don't have to, sorry Bjorn, you don't have to do much. You just fold it in half and place it on. But it's a 2x3 kind of fabric, and you fold it in half, and then you fold each side towards the middle, and that's basically what your tab is. If you want it thicker, you can just do it like this. and sew it, sew it and then fold it down. If you want it thinner, then there's another fold. So I'm going to go for the thinner ones. And I found this stuff, Fabric Fusion fabric tape. And this stuff is a little quirky, but awesome. So it is basically double-sided tape, and it's nice and soft and super, almost annoyingly sticky, but it really holds for something like this. I wouldn't do the whole strap with this, but for a little strap like this, why not? So you push it down, and then the little trick is to get the top part off. It sometimes takes me a minute. Are there any questions going on, Don? No? All right.
No.
Radio silence.
I'm just
All right.
looking through it. No.
All right. Pull it off. You can see where it's shiny. Now this stuff is sticky, so it's a one-time thing here, and I'm just folding it in half again. If you find it easier to just stitch it, then that's fine. Now, I was a little bit off on the end there, but that's it. You can pull it apart, but good luck.
Beth says, sorry.
Go
Beth
ahead.
says she'd like to have the skull carrying, face up when she's carrying it, so is it hard to move the tabs to the top?
No, you can put them anywhere you want. The reason why I put them on the side was because of the zipper placement. I really wanted the zipper in his mouth. So everything that you have in this part will fall down. If you're okay with that, all you have to do is place it here instead. So yeah, anything you want. I just thought it would be better doing it this way. So again, I'm going to use my hoop, and I'm going to draw the line here. Now you notice this one's a little bit shorter. Oh man, that stuff is sticky. Jeebers. And this is how we want to do it. So put your hardware in if you're using it. If you're not, then that's fine too. So loop facing in, grab a piece of tape beforehand, and you can place these tabs wherever you want. If you don't want it on its side, then do it however you want. Doesn't matter. But just be aware that if you think about the logistics of it, it's going to be a little awkward. But I could have cut off part of his head, but I thought the zipper placement here was awesome. So we're going to tape that down really well. Now, basically, our tabs are going to be even. So use your hoop when you can. And now, so the top of the hoop is for the outside of the bag, right? So we're going to put the back of the bag on. And as normal for sewing, we want to put right sides together. So this is how you remember to do all of it. So I was running out of fabric. So hopefully I get this right, because it's not quite wide enough, and I know that. And I'm just going to put a couple pieces of tape, and I'm going to double check everything, and then we are going to go to the embroidery machine. So I might be a little touchy on the sides. It should just cover. We're going to do a nice double back stitch. No, not double back stitch, just a back stitch. I'm just going to move it like that and check again. I don't mean to play applique chicken, but I was running out of purple fabric and I really wanted it. So top of the hoop is for the outside, so we're putting the back fabric face down because right sides together. So, okay, Don, let's go to the machine.
Okay.
And we're gonna finish it and turn it. So there we go at the machine. And okay. And we are gonna stitch the back part down. So let's go ahead and do that. I've just basically used the same color thread. Have you changed cameras? Oh, there we go. So this is not a time when you should walk away. Yee, I made it. I knew I'd be close because you want to watch here, it's going to be quite a bit thicker. You have lots of layers of fabric. So just, no, it did it perfectly. Zipper's open, right? Yes. So there's one. And then I think we're going to do, yeah, back stitches. So that was your get out of jail free card. And now that I know it's matched, we're just going to let that stitch. And I know everything looks like a big mess, but you guys will see how gorgeous this is when it's done. So, okay, I can look at the chat now. What size hoop? My hoop is 8 by 12. The one I was playing around with was only 8 by 8, but the Scully doesn't fit in it. And I wanted lots of details in the zipper. So, hopefully, everyone can do perfect zipper placement and be happy with how it looks, because it truly makes me happy. I'm like, yes, this is the bomb. And once I figured out what goes where, I mean, the stitching for Scully Dude is only 34 minutes. It's 20,000 stitches. And it's only 34 minutes. So put your zipper down, put your pieces down, do whatever decorative stitching you want, and then move the zipper to the middle. Oh, sorry, no, do the back, the lining, because these are fully lined. And I know I'm using the same fabric. However, this back fabric, I do have a little bit of reinforcement on it. And I'm not even worried that the reinforcement is missing on some parts. That's going to be our seams. So this is looking good, and I'm going to show you guys how to turn it and how to seal up the hole in it. So it's a whole lesson on zipper bags, but the zipper technique is flawless, and it makes a big difference. A big, huge difference. So that's good. We just have one more piece to do, and then we can trim it and turn it again. There's 2 turns. All right, so do your little dance there, buddy boy. There we go. And we're gonna go back to the desk. So this is what it looks like right now. So the front and back of the bag are on. So we're going to turn it over to the back, which is the lining, which you won't see, but I really enjoy that the zipper is perfect. So we are going to lay down this is the lining. We're working on the inside of the bag because this is the back of the hoop. And we're going to put it face down. So right sides together. This is the right side that we put on, and this is the rest of the lining. And just make sure you have everything covered. And when you are taping on the back of the hoop, it's really important that you don't push on your stabilizer. I like to make the fabric a little bit bigger, and then you can tape on to the outside of the hoop. And I find that makes a big difference. Everything stays better. So you can push here because it's a hard surface. So we want it nice and flat. And be very gentle with your taping. I'll show you how to push everything down without wrecking your whole design. You don't want your stabilizer to move.
Cindy's asking if you love your new machine. If you're loving it.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I'm right into the bag making thing. If you saw on the first shot that we did, there's a whole bunch of bags coming for Halloween. So there's 3 or 4 I haven't stitched out yet. But yeah, makes everything easy. So I've got my lining taped on, and I'm going to turn my hoop. And this is where you can press down, and that presses the tape in without moving anything. So that's a good trick to know too.
Beth says it's so much simpler than the other patterns she's done. She loves all that you have. I love that all you have to remember is the right sides together and what outside and what is inside.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. It took me a while, honestly, because I was designing them. Let's go to the machine while I'm chatting.
Yes.
Some of them can be complicated, and we might, cue it up a little bit for the complication, but yeah, you can make an absolutely perfect zipper bag. So now we're stitching on the top because we can't put the hoop in any other way, but this is stitching the lining. So it's meant to be stitching on the back. It follows the same line except for the lining leaves a hole, so it's important. So I hope everyone wrote it down. Top, the outside of the bag is at the top. The lining is the bottom, underneath the hoop. The inside is underneath. Zipper placement, you got it. Preparation is key, so make sure you have your fabric nice enough and flat, and if you need to add some fusible, go ahead and do that. So it's easy. I tell you, both my kids are absolutely thrilled with the bags I've done. I think this is probably my 5th Scully.
I want that one.
You want that one?
I don't know what I won't use it as a purse, but it's cool.
Oh. If you guys want to see at the end some of the other purses that I have stitched out, I will let you guys know. I will show you guys just some of the ones I have on the board, but there's more. Candy corn, small pumpkin, big pumpkin, and a spell book, or just a book if you're not into Halloween stuff. But they're all going to be the same, so basically if you do one, you'll be able to do all of them.
That's nice when the patterns are all done the same way.
Yeah, and then once you get the hang of it, we can add flaps and different things like that. But I personally am enjoying the one hooping, and we're done. Instead of, we could do 2 hoopings, but...
Cindy's saying, I'm wondering how you flip it.
Okay, well, we're just about to do that. We're going to go back to the desk, Dawn.
What's up?
And there we go. So, it looks like an absolute disaster. I know. Now, I do want to take some of this tape off, but I'm not going to do it now because we're going to take our good sharp scissors and we are going to cut everything out. And most of the tape will come off or be cut, or you can do it afterwards. So 1/4 of an inch, a little bit more. You do not want to cut it too close. For sure, you don't want to cut it too close. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want to, hack it or anything. So a little tougher where the tabs are, the strap tabs or whatever they're called. And we are gonna look at the back here. All right, I should have been cutting from the back. It's easier for you guys to see. So there we go. Now we want to leave a little bit of the fabric for the turning part here. It just makes it so much easier. So that's how I do it. So you got all these scrappies, but you're not wasting too much. So then whatever tape you see, you can pull it off, and probably when we turn it. So we have an opening. So if you open the opening, you will see that this is, right sides together. If I had a print, you would see the print together. And that's going to be our first turn. So we are going to turn it through. So did everyone see that? You open it up, and you can't open it any other place, okay? Because this is sewn together, so there's only one opening. And you're going to push it through. And don't worry about the stabilizer or anything like that that's in it. It'll all add to the bag quite nicely. And of course, you know, take your time. Take your time. Now, this is where it's really, really important that you opened your zipper. If you did not open your zipper, get out your seam ripper because you're going to be kind of stuck at this point. So, see, we popped them through. So this is our pretty inside with our perfectly perfect zipper. I'm going to use my pokey guy. A lot of people use like the purple thing or sweet peas pink thing. Chopsticks. All right, see what I just did? That's because I was a bit short on the fabric. So I have a little bust through, but I should be able to fix it quite handily. So yeah, I poked my Pokemon through.
Oh no.
And we have a little tear. But you know what? Just take it to your sewing machine and you can sew it. It'll be, you know, a little bit on the inside, but you won't see it. So be gentle with it when you're doing it, I guess is the point. And make sure you have enough fabric so you don't waste time. But it's fixable, so... All right, so now we got them nice and flat. That was our first turn. So it is... That would be the right side. That would be the right side. It's beautiful. And then, excuse me, I'm going to take my seam ripper. And this is where the zipper is. So what we want to do is open the zipper. Now, I like to take my time at this part because I have found that the stabilizer, now this is cutaway, the stabilizer often gets caught. So these extra pieces sometimes get caught in the zipper. So I will literally take my time and just kind of pick it out. I won't do that now, but I'll turn it back and do it for you guys. So before you turn it though, we want to close it up because we don't want a hole in our lining particularly, now do we? So I'm going to cut a bit of this bulk off here because we don't need all that. And we're gonna fold, and this is why the tab makes everything easier. And we're gonna fold this. None of this will show. I would take the tape off, but meh, you know. And then fold it, and then you kind of pull on it, and you can see where you need to be. Now, you can hand sew this. You can use a bit of fusible. You can use some basting glue and let it dry. Or you can use this fabric fusion tape, which is what I'm going to do. So I have that part set. A little bit of ironing probably wouldn't hurt. This is where the sticky stuff gets a little awkward.
That fusion tape hold it well enough if you had some weight in it?
It seems to.
Good.
I haven't had any problems. I have no idea where I got this stuff or if it's like too old to be true, but I found it in my stash and I thought I'm going to try it out. Most of the time, to be honest with you, I put a little to keep your scraps of heat and bond and use that. I tend to do that more often than not, but I have some of this stuff, so I thought I would just try. It's really, 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 really sticky. So unfortunately, there's no room for mistakes. So I like it, but I probably would not buy more when this runs out because it's a bit tricky. So just take your time with it, or take it to your machine, and I just usually stitch not a 1/4 inch, as small as you can go on it, and sew it down, or glue. So it just depends what I'm doing. So this is the hard part because it's so sticky. You want it placed properly. So I tend to put a little tension in it, and see, it's a bit tricky. And it's because I'm live that I'm making such a
Well, of course.
mess of it, but it's fine. See, this is the only part that I find kind of difficult, but I did get it. Look, there's a little bit of it sticking out there. My goodness. That'll be on the inside. So then I give it a good push, and there we go. So fuse a little bit of basting glue maybe, or just whip stitch it closed. Pick out your batting, and then this is our final turn. So we are going to see how cool my guy is. So then the loops come out, you can see that, and I'm going to be a little more careful because I know I was a little off on the fabric. I just really wanted purple. And we're turning it through the zipper. So does everyone understand the 2 turns?
It's a 2-turn bag. I get it.
Yep. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I'd like to hear from Lynn. She was very confused about the turning. So I'm hoping to make it a little clearer. So I know I do have a little hole there. So now we can close his mouth and give it an iron. So what I have to do too is fix the tape. Once you iron it down, everything loosens up. Oh, that's what I did. All right, I gotta pop that out. Mistakes were made.
Judy Shirley is asking if it can be done in a 5x7.
I don't have it sized for that, but I can work on that. 5x7 bags are really small. So I'm going for like cell phone holder and the whole bit. So there we go. Look, close his mouth.
He's cool.
Perfect. And once you iron them down, then it will sit nice and flat and you can just load it up with everything. So I'm just kind of wiggling down for the corners. And look how the zipper is. Beautiful.
Excellent placement.
Beautiful on the inside and on the outside. So you can do it. You can make perfect zippers. And I like this one because it's covered up by the fabric, so it's almost an invisible zipper.
Alicia says the 2 turns ensures no raw edges.
No
inside.
raw edges. So I can prove it because, look, we can look, and everything's perfect on the inside. It's beautiful on the inside, except for maybe a little bit of tape. But look, no raw edges on the inside. So, you know, it looks really professional. It looks really well done. And it's super easy to do. And, you know, you can give your Scully dude different looks. So here's the first Scully, not the first one, but a different Scully one with kind of space fabric and white and black. And he does look a bit scarier, but this one is super cute.
We'll bring in the 3rd Scully one.
Where's the, oh, on the back. Well, he's my original one, so yeah. The original Scully is right here. So you can see how you can make them look different. They don't have to be Halloween by any means. I would carry that around anywhere. Now, the tab on here, it slipped. I didn't have it taped down enough, so I'm not sure how that would work on a bag, but meh, whatever. Here's the inside too. You can see different. I use different fabric. Thank you, Judy Quill. I use different fabric on the inside, but look at that zipper with a little fold there. And when you close it, it's with the black, it's pretty much invisible. And that's what I really like about it. This one is where I learned about cutting the stabilizer out and putting a line. So you can hardly see it, even when it's open. So it kind of looks like a mouth open. So does anyone have any questions? Are you guys going to be able to make perfect zippers on your zipper bags, on any zipper bags?
What is the finished size?
It is, let's see, top of his head, it's about 9.5 inches from here to here. So, I mean, big enough for your phone. See, this is why I thought, and then you put your phone in here or, whatever. The girls thought it was a really good size. So,
I think so too. What is it, about 6 inches wide at the mouth, roughly? That's pretty close. Pretty good.
I will measure. Yep, pretty close to 6 inches here. And he is 7.5 across his fat skull.
That's a decent size to put a couple of things in.
Yeah, I would use it. I would use it just, running out, put your wallet, put your phone. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Or on the bike, I think this would be excellent on a motorcycle.
That would be cool.
So you could see how, scary, Halloween-y, but yet awesome. And then, kind of spacey, a little bit different. And then that's cute. To me, that is super cute. You could sew on a bow, and it could be a girl skeleton.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it'd be cute. But they turn out wonderfully. I'm so happy with it. Like this one, other than the tilted thing, loop, there you go. And then to finish them off, all you need to do is make a strap or buy a strap, either way, and then clip it onto here and you have a crossbody bag. So it's awesome. And you make the straps the same way, the long strap. So you make it, say, 3 or 4 inches by 42, which should be the width of your fabric, and then fold it in half and iron it and fold those two sides in, and then simply sew it up, and it really adds to it. So I would do a spacey one for this. It's awesome. So any questions? Bags, you can make them, and they look really good. Really, really good.
Shirley says it would look great with glow-in-the-dark fabric.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any, or else I would have. Yeah, and glow in the dark thread, even just for the face or even just for the outline. Anything goes. You could do flower fabric, bright flower fabric, and it would look like a sugar skull. So there's so many things you could do. Halloween fabric, I mean, dark and dreary fabric, bright fabric. I like that on this one, it looks like the eyes, nose, and the eyes and the nose go right through because I used a scrap of fabric from the purple to here, so it looks like he's like all the way through. Now this one looks like the eyes are deep, way deep into space, and it looks like they're staring at you. But that's a different look, that it looks like it's right behind. And this guy kind of does too. I used the same fabric just because it was cool. So I like it. So you can have a Scully purse any which way that you want. Pencil case, so you wouldn't put any tabs on it. You can do it without the tabs, just don't add them. So we remember our things. Top of the hoop is for the outside of the bag. The bottom of the hoop is for the inside of the bag. Right sides together. Tape your zipper down really well. Make sure you mark the center line so you can see it, so your lining fabric is placed properly. Pre-do your fabric, iron it, put the two folded edges to the middle of the zipper, tape it down, do the same on the back for the lining, and have tons of fun. Lots of applique, lots of detail work. So, okay.
If you're making your own bag, could you do it this way on a sewing machine?
I don't know. I don't actually sew very well. I do better on the embroidery machine. I'm sure the sewing would be a little different, but it's an embroidery pattern, so I don't really know. I can't really answer that. I guess it would be similar. I don't know.
That says yes. It would
Okay,
be something.
Beth says yes, then it's yes. Look at
Judy
my.
Quilt says, "I'm sure you can." So
Okay.
They think it's possible.
Okay, I
I don't
don't.
know. I don't sew either.
No, I don't want to answer it without knowing. Look at how cool the skulls
So.
look.
I love them.
I think they're awesome. So, okay, hopefully you guys will make some zipper purses. Again, there are lots more to come. And if you have any questions, head on over to the OML Embroidery University Facebook group and we'll help you out. And if you are stitching a skull, make sure you post it and post a close-up of your perfect zipper. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will get stitching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Bye, everyone.
I like the mermaid.